Hello children, we have already started with some basic concepts of chemistry chapter and we have discussed uh, different laws of chemical combination, then atomic and molecular masses, and in the last class we have discussed mole concept. Now today we'll start with percentage composition. What is the percentage of a particular element in a particular compound? That is called as mass percentage of an element. I may also say if I divide that particular compound in 100 parts mass wise, then how many parts are occupied by a particular element? So what is the formula to find out the mass percentage of an element? I can write it as mass percentage of an element is equal to mass of that element in the compound divided by molar mass of the compound. Into 100. This is the formula to calculate mass percentage of an element. Beta, in order to find out the mass percentage of an element, you must know the chemical formula of the compound. In order to explain this concept, I'll take a case of carbon dioxide molecule. What is mass percentage of carbon? As carbon dioxide is made up of carbon and oxygen. You know what is the molecular mass of 1 mole of carbon dioxide? Carbon is 12 plus there are 2 atoms of oxygen. So it is 2 into 16. It comes out to be 44 grams per mole. Molar mass is expressed in grams per mole. Mass percentage of carbon is mass of that element in the compound. So how many atoms are there of carbon in this? It is only 1. So it has mass 12. I'll write down here 12 gram is the mass of carbon in this divided by the total mass of the compound, molecular mass. It comes out to be 44 into 100. Beta, if you calculate, it comes out to be 27.27, something like this. Can you find out the mass percentage of oxygen in this oxygen element? There are 2 atoms of oxygen which are present here. Rather 2 moles of oxygen are present. 1 mole is 16 and 2 moles is 32. So mass of that element for oxygen element is 32. Total molar mass of the compound is 44 into 100. We want to find out the percentage, and if you calculate here, it comes out to be 72.7272%. If you consider that carbon dioxide is 100 grams, out of it carbon is 27.2727%, whereas oxygen is 72.727272%. How will you check your answer is correct or not? Just add the percentage masses of different elements. It should come out to be 100. It has only 2 elements. Their mass percentages are this. If you add, it roughly comes out to be 100. I'll take one more case. If you want to find out the mass percentage of different elements which are present in sulfuric acid, see how will you calculate? If you want to find out mass percentage of hydrogen, what is the mass of hydrogen in this compound? There are 2 moles, so it is 1 mole has the molar mass 1 and 2 moles will have 2 divided by total sulfuric acid's molar mass is 2 into molar mass of hydrogen is 1 plus sulfur is 32 plus 4 atoms of 4 moles of oxygen are there, so it is 4 into 16. It comes out to be 98. So total molar mass of the compound is 98 into 100. Similarly, you find out mass percentage of sulfur. There is only one mole of sulfur which is present in this, and its molar mass is 32 divided by 98 into 100. You can find out for mass percentage of oxygen. There are 4 moles of oxygen which are present. One is 16. So 16 into 4 divided by 98 into 100. So you calculate the mass percentage of each element, and if you do the sum total of 3, this comes out to be 100. Beta, next topic is to find out molecular formula from empirical formula. So we need to understand what is empirical formula, what is empirical mass, molecular formula and molecular mass. So I'll write down the topic empirical formula to find out molecular formula. First of all, try to understand what is empirical formula. Beta, empirical formula is the simplest whole number ratio of various atoms present in a compound. And what is molecular formula? It shows the exact number of different types of atom present in a compound. What is all this? Let's see. You know the formula of glucose? Glucose is C6H12O6. This is molecular formula because this gives you the exact number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen which are present in glucose. What is its empirical formula? Empirical formula is the whole number ratio. So what is the ratio? If you divide this by 6, it comes out to be CH2O. So the simplest whole number ratio in which carbon, hydrogen and oxygen are present is 1:2:1. This is called as empirical formula. I'll take another example. You know hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, its molecular formula is H2O2. This is its molecular formula. Hydrogen and oxygen exactly are present in the ratio of 2:2. But what is the simplest ratio? If you divide it by 2, it comes out to be HO. They are present in the ratio of 1:1. So simplest whole number ratio will give you the empirical formula, where the exact number of molecules, this is simplest whole number ratio, whereas this is exact number of different type of atoms which are present in a compound. So this is HO and this is empirical formula. Similarly, you can write down, there are so many formulas are there. Even if I write down C4H10, all of you know this is butane and this is its molecular formula. If you see the simplest whole number ratio, divided by 2, it comes out to be C2H5 and this is its empirical formula. Beta, I'll take a numerical in which there is an organic compound in which a carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is present. Carbon percentage is given to us, which is 57.8%. Hydrogen is also given, which is 3.6%. And if they say like the rest of that is oxygen, so you already know the total of 3 comes out to be 100. So how will you find out the percentage of oxygen in this case? You will say it is 100 minus 57.8 plus 3.6. So it comes out to be 38.6%. And what else is given in the numerical? They say molecular mass is also given. Molecular mass of the compound, organic compound, is also given to you. It is 166. And what are they asking to do? They are saying find out the molecular formula. See, how will you calculate? Just make a table of it. First column is elements. Different elements which are given here is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. In second column, you may write down their percentages, which is given for 2, and third you have calculated here. It is 57.8. This is 3.6 and this one is 38.6. This is percentage. Then write down the atomic masses of each of the element. For carbon it is 12, for hydrogen it is 1, and for oxygen it is 16. Afterwards you will find out number of moles. How do you find out number of moles? You know, number of moles is the given mass divided by molar mass. So you'll get here 57.8 divided by 12. This is 3.6 divided by 1. 38.6 divided by 16. If you calculate, it comes out to be 4.82. This is 3.6 only, and this gives you 2.41. Next we'll calculate here relative number of atoms, you can say relative number of atoms. You know, out of 3, 2.41 is the smallest. So if we consider that this is 1, then, and if you divide it by the rest 2, then in relation to this you will get the rest of the number of atoms. So what will I do? I will divide each of this term by the lowest number. Lowest number is 2.41. So this divided by 2.41, 3.6 divided by 2.41, and 2.41 divided by 2.41. Here it comes out to be 1, and in relation to this, how many number of hydrogens are there? If you calculate, it comes out to be 1.49, which is roughly equal to 1.5, you can say, and this comes out to be 2. So, but here in this case, number of carbon atoms are 2, hydrogen is 1.5, oxygen is 1. But we have studied empirical formula is the whole number ratio of different elements which are present in a compound. This is not whole number. In order to convert into whole number, multiply all the 3 by 2. If you multiply this by 2, it gives you 3. This gives you 4 and this gives you 2. What is this? This is whole number ratio, or rather this is the simplest whole number ratio. And the simplest whole number ratio is your empirical formula. So shall I say empirical formula is Whose empirical formula of organic compound? Carbon is 4, hydrogen is 3, oxygen is 2. This is empirical formula. Can we find out empirical mass? Let's calculate empirical mass. Empirical mass is 4 atoms of hydrogen is there. So it is 4 plus into 12 plus 3 of hydrogen, 3 into 1 plus 2 of oxygen. So it is 2 into 16. So empirical mass here comes out to be 83. Molecular mass is given to us. Here it is given. So molecular mass is equal to 166. Okay, but we need to find out molecular formula. So if you divide molecular mass by empirical mass, you will get a number which is n, which is represented by n. So it is molecular mass is 166, which is divided by empirical mass, it is 83, it is 2. How will you find out molecular formula? Molecular formula is actually equal to n, this number, into empirical formula. N is that whole number, that multiple with which if you multiply empirical formula, you will get molecular formula. So n value is 2 here, and empirical formula is C4H3O2. So we will get here C8H6O4. This is our molecular formula, which is our requirement, which we need to find out. That is what they were asking for. So just let me repeat. 3 elements are given, their percentages are given, atomic masses we know. Just divide it, given mass divided by atomic mass, you will get here number of moles. And how will you find out relative number of moles? If you divide each of the number of moles with the lowest number of moles, you will get the number of atoms of each one. And if suppose it comes out to be in whole number, then it is fine. But if it is not coming out to be in whole number, it is in fractions, then you need to convert it into whole number, as I have done it here. Once you get the empirical formula, you can find out empirical mass. Molecular mass is given to you, you can find out n value and you will get molecular formula. Many times molecular mass is not given. So here you may note down, if molecular mass is not given, but vapor density of the substance is given, then there is a relation. Molecular mass is actually equal to 2 into vapor density. This also you need to learn. So in the numericals, generally either vapor density is given or molecular mass is given. With a practice for such type of numericals, you will be able to understand it better. Children, next topic is stoichiometry. Children, stoichiometry is a Greek word. Stoichio means element and metry means measurement. So stoichiometry is the measurement of elements. Rather, I would say we need to calculate like what amount of reactants are reacting in a chemical reaction and what amount of products are formed during a chemical reaction, how many reactants are reacting, in what ratio they are reacting, and how many products are formed. I'll explain it with the help of an example. If I take H2 plus O2 gives you H2O. For stoichiometry, we always take the balanced chemical equation. So if I balance it, here it is 2, here also it is 2. What information we are getting from this? And generally in the equation, their states are also written. This is in gaseous state, this is also gaseous, this might be in the liquid form. This is the equation. What information you are getting in this reaction? 2 moles of H2 react with 1 mole of hydrogen and gives you 2 mole of water. Another information is in terms of molecules. 2 moles means I'll say 2 into 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. 1 mole means 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23, and this is 2 into 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. This is in terms of molecules also we get the information, and simplest ratio is in what ratio molecule wise they are reacting together. It is 2:1 and 2 molecules are produced. There is one more information which we get here. It is about volumes. Shall I say 2 volume of H2 reacts with 1 volume of O2 and gives you 2 volume of water. I may also say, when I say 2 moles of H2, 1 mole of H2 occupies 22.4 liter. So I'll say 2 moles will occupy 2 into 22.4 liter. 1 mole means it occupies what volume? 1 mole, it is 22.4 liter, and this is also 2 into 22.4 liter. So volume wise also they are reacting in the ratio of 2:1 and 2 liter is formed. So 2:1:2 is the ratio. So one information is regarding the mole, second information is about molecules, and third is about volume. And regarding the state of reactant and product also we are getting the information. One of the question which I am discussing is from NCERT only. It is question number 36 of the exercise, which is 4 moles of HCl in aqueous solution reacts with MnO2, manganese dioxide, which is in the solid state. This gives you MnCl2 in aqueous state plus 2 moles of H2O in liquid state plus 1 mole of Cl2 in gaseous state. And the question is, how many grams of HCl react with 5 gram of manganese dioxide? They are asking about HCl, how many grams, and what is given to you? 5 gram of MnO2. But according to the standard equation, just find out in what ratio they are reacting together. Mole wise, if you see, they are reacting in the ratio of 4:1. The stoichiometric coefficient is the molar ratios, the number of moles in which they are reacting with the other reactant. 4 moles of HCl react with 1 mole of manganese dioxide. So, and if you, because this is here given in grams, so convert it into grams. 4 mole of HCl, 1 mole of HCl is H is 1 and Cl is 35.5. This is the molar mass of HCl, that is mass of 1 mole of HCl, but it is 4 here, so multiply it by 4. Children, molar mass of manganese is 55 and there are 2 oxygen. It is 2 into 16. It comes out to be 87 gram. According to this equation, 87 gram of MnO2, which is 1 mole, reacts with 4 moles of HCl. 4 moles of HCl is reacts with 4 into 36.5 gram of HCl. 1 gram of manganese dioxide reacts with 4 into 36.5 divided by 87. And with how many grams of manganese dioxide is given to you? It is 5 gram. With 5 gram of manganese dioxide, what amount of HCl will be produced? It is 4 into 36.5 divided by 87 into 5. If you calculate, it comes out to be 8.39 grams. So based on stoichiometry, there are variety of questions in which number of moles, molecules, masses, volumes are involved. You also do practice. I'll also give you more practice at the end of the chapter. Children, sometimes amount of reactant is not given the exact amount. Like here in this case, they are required in the ratio of 1:4. They are given in different amount. Then in such cases, maybe one of the reactant might be consumed earlier and the other one is left in excess. In that case, a question of limiting reagent arises. So let me start with another topic. It is limiting reagent. See, what is limiting reagent? If I'm talking, I'll take an example of, I'll take CH4 methane. It reacts with oxygen and it forms carbon dioxide and water. Whenever any organic compound is burned in the presence of excess of oxygen, it always gives you carbon dioxide and water. Just balance the reaction. It comes out to be 2 here and 2 here. Now they are reacting in what ratio? 1:2. Suppose the amount given here is 2 moles. This is the ratio in which they are reacting, and given amount is 2 moles of this and 2 moles of this are given. 2 moles of each reactant is given. Now you know they react in the ratio of 1:2. 2 moles of this is required, but for methane only 1 mole is required. After the reaction, when 2 moles of oxygen reacts with 1 mole of methane, then oxygen will be consumed fully, but methane is still left. So methane is present in the excess amount. This is called as excess reactant or excess reagent. Whereas one which is consumed fully during the reaction, it is called as limiting reagent. In this case, oxygen is consumed fully. Now no more oxygen is left, although methane is left. So one which is consumed fully is called as limiting reagent. No more oxygen is left. It stops the further formation of carbon dioxide and water. This limits the product formation. So it is called as limiting reagent. So how will you define limiting reagent? Limiting reagent is one which is consumed first. Which get consumed first? Which stops the reaction or limits the reaction. I'll explain it with the help of an example. I'll take a numerical. Beta, see the question here. 3 gram of H2 reacts with 29 gram of O2 to yield water. This is the information which is given to you, and there are 3 questions which they are asking. First one is, who is the limiting reagent? Second is, calculate the amount of water formed. And third is, calculate the amount of reactant which remains unreacted. First important point in this numerical is you must write down the balanced chemical equation. So what they are saying, hydrogen and oxygen, they react together. So I'll say H2 and O2, they react together and they form H2O. Balance the reaction. So it is 2H2 plus 1O2 gives you 2H2O. Mole wise, if you see, they are reacting in the ratio of 2:1:2. So I'll say 2:1 and this gives you 2 more. Beta, there are two methods of doing this numerical. First method is mole method, you can say, mole wise. They are reacting in the ratio of 2:1 and the given amount is not in the moles, it is in terms of grams. So shall I convert the given amount also into number of moles? I'll say number of moles of hydrogen, given mass divided by molar mass. Given mass is 3, molar mass is H2, 2 gram. Don't say it is 2H2O, don't divide it by 4 because this is according to the balanced chemical equation, but otherwise the molar mass of H2 is 2. It comes out to be 1.5 moles of H2. Similarly, find out number of moles of O2. Given amount is 29. 1 oxygen is 16, 2 is 32, 29 by 32. So number of mole is 0.9062. These are number of moles. 2 moles of hydrogen reacts with 1 mole of O2. 1 mole of hydrogen will react with 1/2. And how many moles are there? It is 1.5. So it is 1/2 into 1.5, which comes out to be 0.75 moles of O2. You know how much amount of O2 is available here? 0.9. And how much is consumed here? Only 0.75. So still O2 is left. Hydrogen is fully consumed in this, but O2 is left. So shall I say hydrogen is the limiting reagent? I repeat again, 1.5 mole of hydrogen, which is the given amount, reacts only with 0.75 moles of O2. It indicates that whole of the hydrogen amount which was available has been consumed, but still some amount of oxygen is left. So one which is consumed first, which stops the reaction. Now reaction cannot go further because hydrogen has been consumed. All 1.5 moles of hydrogen has been consumed. So it limits the reaction, it stops the reaction. So hydrogen, so first question is, who is the limiting reagent? Hydrogen is the limiting reagent. See the second part of the question. They are asking calculate the amount of water formed. I'll write it again. 2H2 plus O2 gives you 2H2O. In this case, ratio is 2:1:2. A given amount of hydrogen is 1.5, which reacts with 0.7 moles of oxygen, and it forms 1.5 mole of water. So according to this ratio 2:1:2, this is the molar ratios according to the given amount. So what amount of water is formed? So amount of water formed is 1.5 moles. But if you want to find out in grams, multiply it by its molar mass. What is the molar mass of water? 2 plus 16, it is 18. So you will get here 27 grams. Third part is calculate the amount of reactant which remains unreacted. So oxygen remains unreacted, it is not the limiting reagent. So amount of oxygen left unreacted. Beta, this is the amount of oxygen which has been consumed, and the total amount is 0.9062 minus 0.75. So if you calculate, this comes out to be 0.1562, but this is number of moles. If you multiply it by the molar mass of O2, that is 16 2s are 32, you will get here the amount in grams. Beta, we can do this question according to another method also. This we have done mole wise. Now we can also do it mass wise. Second method is mass wise. Again, write the balanced chemical equation. 2H2 plus O2 gives you 2H2O. 2 moles react with 1 mole and gives rise to 2 moles of water. 2 moles means 4 gram of hydrogen. 1 mole of O2 means it is 32 grams. And 2 moles of water is 18 into 2, which is 36 grams. So this is their ratio according to masses. And the given amount here is, given values are there. Given values are 3 gram, this is given, and this one is 29 gram. So shall I say, according to the given ratio, 4 gram of H2 reacts with 32 gram of O2. 1 gram will react with 32 by 4, and given amount is 3 gram, it is not 4. So 3 gram of hydrogen reacts with 32 by 4 into 3. It comes out to be 24 gram of O2. And given amount of O2 is 29. Whole 3 gram of H2 has been consumed. So H2 is the limiting reagent, whereas this is still left. Only 24 gram out of 29 has been consumed. So amount of O2 left unreacted is equal to 29 gram is the available amount, 24 has been consumed, it is 5 gram of O2 which is left. And third part says how much amount of H2O is formed. So let's see, when 4 gram of H2 gives 36 grams of water. 1 gram of H2 gives 36 by 4. And what is the amount? Given amount of hydrogen is 3 grams. So 3 gram of hydrogen gives 36 by 4 into 3. It comes out to be 27 gram. So beta, in this case also you are getting the same result, same answer. H2 is the limiting reagent and all the values are same. Beta, I would like to ask a question here. If you start it that 32 grams of O2 reacts with 4, 1 gram reacts with how much, and 29 grams reacts with how much, then what is the problem in solving this question? Just find out the answer for this. Beta, this is all for today. So let me revise what we have done today. One is related to percentage composition. which talks about the mass percentage of each and every element present in a compound. And then empirical formula, molecular formula, and calculation of molecular formula from given empirical formula. You should also know if vapor density is given, how will you find out molecular mass and molecular formula. And then we have done limiting stoichiometry, and then limiting reagent. Practice enough, do all the questions related to this from the NCERT exercise as well as other extra questions also. Thank you, beta.